Um, so today I want to review about three books that I've read. Um, and they are, actually the books in order. They are Quiet Power, written by Susan Cain, and then we have Mindset, written by Carol Dweck, and last but not least is Atomic Habits, written by James Clear, which I just finished reading it today. And maybe you're wondering why I'm not uploading any gaming videos. Well, because right now I already finished all the main quests on Genshin Impact, and also perhaps I'm still waiting like new games to come out. One of them is actually Life is Strange True Colors, but I'm afraid that uh, it's not going to be available in a physical form anytime soon, so perhaps I have to download it, and because my internet is really slow, I don't think I'm going to download it. So yeah, maybe I'm going to wait for the physical disc to be released. And then we have Far Cry 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and also I'm still waiting for Horizon Zero Dawn, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, back to the main topic. So first of all, the first book that I'm going to talk about is Quiet Power, written by Susan Cain. Or to be specific, this book actually is aimed for um, young adult, teenagers, and kids. And to be honest, I have to say um, thank you for Susan Cain, because she is writing a book that specifically for introverts like me, for example. I've read um, another book that's written by her, which is Quiet. Um, Introverts in the World That Never Stop Speaking. Yeah, I think that's the title. That's the first book that I read about introvert person, and just not recently I already finished reading Quiet Power by Susan Cain. So this book actually discusses about how to cope in real life as an introvert, because in general people um, always expect others to act as an extrovert ideal, which means that they have to talk a lot, perform, and have confidence to like show up in the public. But that's, I believe, not how introverts um, execute their task or do their task like that, because introverts are more like um, obviously they are quiet, but they are able to be extrovert in the at the right place and the right time. For example, if you have a conversation with introverts, they will engage in that conversation if you have like a meaningful conversation or topic that is meaningful to them, so they will engage in that conversation, for example. I mean, I'm not saying that introverts are just followers, they can also be leaders. For example, concrete example like Mahatma Gandhi, um, maybe the Apple co-founders Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniacki, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they they are type the example of concrete example of people who are successful, but they are also introverts. And again, Susan Cain really helps me to accept myself as who I am, because I'm an introvert. Back then, I was kind of like still trying to find myself. What I mean is that, is it wrong if I'm not really like a talker, instead of like I love to listening. Even if I want to talk, I or speak, I want to engage in a meaningful conversation instead of saying things just for sake of saying. You know what I mean? So yeah, her books really helped me, to accept myself as an introvert, and there's nothing wrong about it. And then moving on to second book is Mindset, written by Carol Dweck. Actually, this book I finish it like a while ago, so I can only give you like let's say quote unquote the topic that is discussed in that book in general is actually about two types of mindset: fixed mindset and growth mindset. So actually it discusses about for example, fixed mindset. uh, People with fixed mindset, actually they accept things as they are, so it cannot be changed, it cannot be cultivated. In contrast, growth mindset people, actually they believe something can be changed, something can be cultivated, and even if they fail at some point, they see it as an opportunity to learn. So to learn and to improve. So actually these books I really recommend people to read it because it helps me to cope with failure. uh and also to see something from other perspective, that it's not just a singular point of view, but there are a lot of things that you need to consider, and which actually relate to our third book, which is Atomic Habits, written by James Clear, which I just finished reading it today. One of the topic that is discussed in that book is that um, actually when sorry so at the beginning of the part of the book, actually it discusses about um, whether we of course we want to build a good habit, and then try to throw away bad habits. So it so the author breaks down into four parts for the habits. For example, so it consists of craving, cue, response, and reward. uh what else? So for good habits, for the craving, you need to make it obvious. For the cue, you need to make it attractive. Response, you have to make it easy, and the reward, you have to make it satisfying. And in contrast, for the bad habits, it's just the opposite. So make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it hard, and make it um, unsatisfying. So yeah, actually, the author is really good in giving an example because it is easy to understand. Also, the author also discussed about the delayed or immediate reward. For example, why people always, try to seek reward immediately instead of waiting for that reward, or we call it delayed reward in that book. So yeah, in general, it's because for example, if we want to get fit, we have to go to the gym. Now most people actually they find it hard to go to the gym, which actually going to the gym is the obstacle. Actually also reminds me of the book written by Ryan Holiday, Obstacle is the Way. I haven't read it yet, but it's kind of like catchy title, and I've heard some good reviews about that book, but maybe in the future I will review about it too, because right now I'm going to read Think Like a Monk, written by Jay Shetty. So yeah, anyway, um back to the main topic. So that's one, the obstacle. Actually sometimes we find it hard to maintain a good habit or try to start a good habit because of the obstacle, like that. For example, there's a friction. And then also when it comes to habit, actually there is for bad habits especially. For example, like we always assume that smoker find a satisfying reward, like reducing stress from smoking, but actually it's not that. The hormone that is responsible for our satisfaction is called dopamine. It actually starts from the anticipation of that habit. For example, when a smoker sees the cigarettes, actually they already like start to um, excited. Or for example, like a gambler, when they see like the machine at the casino, actually that anticipation when they want to do it, that's what makes, habit for them is hard to breakable. And another thing that is, the topic that they discuss is about, I think it's called the Goldilocks rule, which mean that find something that is, uh, find something that is something that you can do in a manageable difficulty. So it's not too easy, but it's not too hard. For example, if you play tennis against 4-year-old kid, you might find it easy to beat the kid, and in the long run, you will feel bored because it is too easy for you. But for example, if you go up against a professional tennis player, you find it very difficult to beat them. So then you lost motivation to play. But if you find an opponent that has the same skill as you, now you find it like there's a motivation to play and to beat that opponent if you willing to put the effort and serious about it. So yeah, actually it is true that our peak motivation is at the point where we find something that we can do in a manageable difficulty. So I think sometimes, and then it actually um, goes on to discuss why it is hard to. It also explains why people find it hard to maintain their habit. Actually, if we want to be successful, it is it is very difficult to do our routines every day because we're getting bored since we already know the outcome, so it is predictable. So yeah, like I said, it is related to like mindset written by Dweck. It's like fixed, so you think that you cannot change it. So the boredom, that's the keyword. So the greatest threat for success is actually not failure, but it is boredom. It is easy to get bored, so sometimes you might see some people like a fair weather type of person. They do something when they feel like it, but when they do not feel like it, they just I'm not feeling it, so I shouldn't do it at all. Which actually this is also has been discussed in this book. It says that it's not that people have trouble with sleeping up. It's just that they have a problem with doing something perfectly, and if they don't, they think they shouldn't do it at all. Which actually this is the big mistake. I mean, if you sleep up once, it's an accident. But if you sleep up twice, now you need to try to reflect actually what you can do better on it. And the last part actually it talks about where sometimes maintaining a habit or hold on tightly on a belief or habit is not a good thing because our environment is changing from time to time. So if you really hold on very tightly on your habit or belief that you believe that it is um, effective in running your daily life, maybe now it is effective, but in the future you need to keep keep like check on it, because once we become automatic in doing something which becomes our habit or our subconscious, we are less sensitive to feedback. So that's also becomes a main problem. I mean, yeah, I think that's all about the review of these three books, and I do recommend you to read them because it, for me, it helps me to at least gain a new perspective. And I believe the topics, although the topics that are discussed in those books, we already know it, but sometimes we just like in real life we forget about it. So it's like some kind of reminder, which is a good reminder, to be honest. So yeah, and perhaps about gaming videos, maybe I'm going to upload videos about Eloy build on Genshin. I mean, I'm also still waiting for the sequel for that game, which is going to be released on February 2022. Yeah, it's been delayed. But yeah, for now, maybe I'm still waiting for the Far Cry 6. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, leave a like and comment. Please, it would help a lot for my YouTube channel. And anyway, I see you in the next video. Bye.